Welcome to Indonesia Pavilion. Hope you all had a delightful lunch and excited for our discussion today, which will be touching on the greenhouse gas emission reduction through the optimization of waste utilization. So emissions from the waste sector is relatively high and continue to increase every year. So today we will learn how to create environmentally waste management that's safe both for the environment and human health. And what are the examples of a best practice in B3 waste management? And what are the technological innovation and development that's available in industrial sector to keep the damage and pollution to the minimum level? And to commence the discussion, we're going to invite our keynote speaker who look fabulous today, our beloved Ibu Rosa Vivin Ratnawati.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Also the MC, the fabulous MC. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace be upon you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, thank you very much for attending this event in Pavilion of Indonesia. We will share today our experience in utilizing hazardous waste and non-hazardous waste. Ladies and gentlemen, climate change has now become a global development challenge. Based on these considerations, the government took an action role in international negotiation by committing to reduce greenhouse gas emission by 29% using domestic resources and 41% with the international cooperation by 2030. Through regulation of the President of the Republic of Indonesia number 18, 2020, climate change has become one of the 6 national priorities in the National Medium-Term Development Plan 2020 to 2024, followed by the explanation of the 3rd priority program, namely low carbon development. Some priority sectors for mitigation include forestry, peatland, energy, transportation, industry, and waste management. Due to transparency issue in the Paris Agreement data on GHG emission level and GHG emission reduction achievement from mitigation activities must not only meet the criteria of transparency, accuracy, consistency, completeness, and comparability, but also can be accounted for as national and regional level data. Based on the long-term strategy for low carbon and climate resilient 2050, Indonesia will reach peak emission by 2030. Especially in waste sector will be 183,662 giga CO2 equivalent and net zero emission by 2060. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, based on the greenhouse inventory report in 2021 in national level, sectors that produce the highest GHG emission are the energy sector at 44%, followed by the forestry sector at 32.8%, and waste sector, actually this is the lowest, is 9.7%. And the emission produced by hazardous waste sector was at 3rd rank with total emission of 128,100 giga CO2 equivalent. This figure is quite high and will increase every year. If there is no serious effort to overcome the increasing of emission from the waste or hazardous waste sector, for example, energy resource substitution, waste incineration, and or waste stockpiling in landfill facilities, which emit carbon dioxide and methane gas with different quantities depending on the waste activity data and emission factors. Addressing climate change demands circular economy approach that promote the reduce, reuse, and recovery of waste and also conservation of resources. Through circular economy approach, there is possibility to extract more important content from waste components and return them to the process cycle, thereby significantly reducing the input of fresh raw materials and producing added value as of both products and energy. Therefore, we support industries to maximize waste utilization. And based on our data, from 6.9 million ton waste generated, 71% has been utilized as material substitution of energy substitution. Ladies and gentlemen, the active utilization of waste also contribute to enhance circular economy. And the value of the waste utilization increase and potentially reach 1.19 billion US dollar in 2022 from utilization of alternative material, recovery solvent, agro product, metal, copper, paper, oil, and chemical. The waste utilization also directly contributes to the reduction of greenhouse gas emission release into the environment. This practice not only provides a direct environmental benefit, but also has indirect effect, such as reducing the demand for raw material. Beyond its environmental impact, the responsible management of hazardous and toxic waste brings about additional social benefits, contributing to sustainable practices and fostering a positive impact on communities. The emission level for solid industrial waste is projected to decrease to 22 giga CO2e by 2050. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, the implementation of waste utilization based on circular economy and reduction of GHG emission must be combined with aspect of environmentally sound waste management so that it is safe both for the environment and human health, such as reduction of hazardous and non-hazardous waste through material substitution, process modification, and or use of environmentally friendly technology to increase the percentage of raw material recovery. Second, strongly encourage management of hazardous waste and non-hazardous waste on cradle-to-cradle basis through waste reutilization and prevention of illegal transboundary movement of waste. In order to follow up the mandate of the Paris Agreement, so in the context of the implementation, so today in the UNFCCC 28, so I invite some of the very good companies here to share the information about their effort. The first from Petrokimia Gresik, Ibu Dikna Jatiningsih, and then the second Ibu Melati Sarnita from Inalum, and Ibu Leli Fitriani from PPLI. All the women. So you know the woman has a very good power, for reducing greenhouse gas emission. And the DJ also woman. So that I hope that our event today can inspire all business actors, because we also share in the YouTube, to utilize their waste so that they can increase the circular economy while reducing greenhouse gas emission. I wish this meeting would lead to concrete synergic and collaborative measures that can be undertaken in no time with tangible outcome. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Ibu Vivin, for the keynote. She's the leader of the overall waste management in MOF Indonesia. Okay, let's start with the discussion. I would like to invite the director of waste management from MOEF. He is Pak Ahmad Gunawan Wicaksono to take the lead. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the MC. The Excellency Bu Dirjen, Pak Elias, and all the guests today that I continuing for the event today that we have three speakers like Ibu Dirjen mentioned. So I will invite the first speaker is Ibu Dikna Jatiningsih from Petrokimia Gresik. Please come to the podium. Petrokimia Gresik is a fertilizer company that is the biggest fertilizer company in Indonesia that have innovation regarding with the waste and also raw material they produce. And the second is I invite Ibu Melati Sarnita. Ibu Melati Sarnita is a Director of Business Development from PT Indonesia Asahan Aluminium, Inalum. Again, that Inalum is the biggest producer of the aluminium metal that in Indonesia, that a lot of energy saving in here, we will hear later on. And the third is Ibu Leli Fitriani from Research and Development Manager, PT Prasada Pamunah Limbah Industri, PPLI. Yeah, this is a little bit different because this is not producer of waste, but utilize and also to treat the waste. So the Ibu Leli received all the waste from other sector, from industry, all of Indonesia area. Before we start, I will say something like Ibu Dirjen mentioned in the opening remark that all the speaker is woman and also the DJ is also woman. So please give applause for that. And this is the part of the ESG program actually. The ESG pillar can guarantee equality of the gender and also empowering the woman. So it's just great today for this event because all speaker now is woman. So to save the time that we have only limited time, so every speaker just have 10 minutes. So please not more than 10 minutes. So I invite first Ibu Dikna Jatiningsih. Please Ibu Dikna, you have the floor.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Gunawan. Good afternoon, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, Ibu Dirjen, Ibu Bapak, Ibu semuanya. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude for the opportunity to speak in this good occasion. On behalf of PT Petrokimia Gresik, I would like to present our success story related to utilization of waste boiler ash as a filler of NPK fertilizer production in order to reduction of greenhouse gas. Petrokimia Gresik is one of the subsidiary of PT Pupuk Indonesia Holding Company under the Ministry of State-Owned Enterprises, which produces fertilizer to support the National Food Security Program in all over Indonesia since 51 years ago. We have 36 plants with total capacity almost 11 million tons per year. Consists of fertilizer product and 5 million and 6 million tons is the chemical production. The biggest product is compound fertilizer called NPK, which related our topics today. To support our business process, we have supporting infrastructure such as water purification unit, jetty, loading and unloading facilities, water processing unit, and also steam and electricity generation unit. Petrokimia Gresik has 5 electricity generating unit. 2 unit is gas turbine generator, 2 unit is steam turbine generator, and 1 unit is coal fire power plant, which produce waste fly ash 20 tons per day and bottom ash 5 tons per day. This is a process flow diagram of combustion coal and boiler to produce energy like steam and electricity and leftover coal ash. Coal ash is commonly divided into 2 subcategories based on particle gas. Bottom ash is the coarser compound in the coal ash, comprising about 10% of the waste. It settled on the bottom of the boiler. The most voluminous of and well-known constituent is fly ash, which make up more than half of the coal leftover. Fly ash is the lightest kind of coal ash that fly up through food ducting and capture about 90%. Pollution control equipment like electrostatic precipitator. How we can utilization about the ash from coal boiler. From this diagram, we can explain the raw material and the specification of NPK fertilizer. Usually, we use clay, 14% as a filler. We make a testing and analysis to make partial substitution with ash with many composition and various doses. After conducting many trials, the optimum doses of fly ash and bottom ash is about 1.5%. And so we can decrease the clay consumption about 12.5%. The importance of the result of NPK product obtained meet the standard of SNI NPK fertilizer. Also, we conduct many demonstration plot on farm with many various crops, included paddy rice. The result is that the effectiveness of NPK fertilizer with filler, fly ash, and bottom ash is not significantly different with NPK fertilizer without FABA filler. And the additional of FABA as a fertilizer filler does not affect of the effectiveness of NPK fertilizer. That's why we can conclude that fly ash and bottom ash accepted as a partial substitution of clay as a filler of NPK fertilizer. By using fly ash and bottom ash as a partial filler, we have two benefits. First, in greenhouse reduction by reduced consumption of logistics transport. And the second, in the circular economic by reduce of consumption clay. The results show that the utilization of fly ash and bottom ash waste in the NPK granulation unit, we can implement it with a consumption around 12,500 tons per period 2023 and 4,000 tons for period 2022. And we continuing in this and the next year. The greenhouse gas reduction is around 1,000 tons CO2 equivalent, which generates economic value of 10 billion per year. Ladies and gentlemen, to give a more explanation, would like you please to watch the short video. Together, let's we take the action toward achieving the what's collective climate goal. Thank you.
As the largest and the most complete fertilizer factory in Indonesia, with an annual output of almost 10.9 million tons, PT Petrokimia Gresik serves as an agro-industry solution for agriculture in Indonesia. To support its operational capabilities, PT Petrokimia Gresik independently generates steam and electricity using coal power. And as this process unfolds, the coal utility unit generates waste, specifically fly ash and bottom ash, furtherly called as FABA. Complying with licenses is crucial for handling FABA waste. Previously, FABA was classified as hazardous waste. Within that period, PT Petrokimia Gresik engaged third-party waste management for FABA waste, incurring a cost of 300,000 rupees per ton. But since 2021, FABA has shed its hazardous status. This shift has paved the way for PT Petrokimia Gresik to implement an innovative approach by utilizing FABA waste to become one of the raw materials for high-value NPK fertilizer. Before engaging in large-scale production, laboratory testing was taken to ensure compliance with the Indonesian national standard for the fertilizer products. Practical trials were then taken and validated the product efficacy and environmental safety. With both tests indicating safety, the innovation was set into motion. The utilization of FABA waste starts with mixing fly ash and bottom ash. Fly ash waste is loaded into trucks from the silo and later combined with bottom ash waste using a 3-to-1 ratio. After that, the mixture of FABA waste in the trucks is discharged at the NPK warehouse. Moving forward, for NPK fertilizer, FABA waste has successfully replaced clay as NPK fertilizer components. This innovation resulted in lower material costs and eco-friendlier process. With the implementation of this innovation, PT Petrokimia Gresik no longer outsources third-party waste management for FABA waste, resulting in high efficiency both in cost savings and lower greenhouse gases. This innovation also possesses a registered patent with the Ministry of Education and Culture and has been socialized to both national and international institutions. Progressing onward, as PT Petrokimia Gresik advances, this innovation stands as a beacon of spirit, paving the way for a more sustainable and promising future. PT Petrokimia Gresik, an agro-industry solution.
Thank you very much, Ibu Digna, that you already present to all of us regarding with the use utilization for raw material. This is good innovation. And I will invite the second presenter is Ibu Melati Sarnita from Inalum. You have a floor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, thank you for Ibu Dirjen for letting us and give us opportunity for this very a very good event. Yeah, it's one of the, I think it was the largest event for the environment. So this is a very good opportunity for us to sharing our best practices in aluminum industry in Indonesia. So basically, today I would like to show you, this is our vision. We want to become an environmental friendly, foremost global integrated aluminum-based company. This is really a big dreams because aluminum industry is one of the industry that really use the energy in a very big amount. It's a huge and massive using in electricity because most of the aluminum smelter using the electrolysis as the technology to produce the aluminum. In Indonesia, as an aluminum is part of the holding company of mineral and mining industry in Indonesia. We are actually a state-owned enterprise, 100% belonging to government of Indonesia. And we have a few subsidiaries. The first one is actually BAI. This is an alumina refinery that currently being built in Indonesia. We do hope this project is one of our prestigious project for this year. Will be start to operate by next year. Currently is in almost 80% progress, and our COD itself will be on January 2025. This is also one of the part of the project how to reduce our emission because currently we still imported a lot of alumina from other countries. And the second one, we have Indonesia Aluminium Alloy. This is a recycling aluminum plant. So we will be able to recycling some of aluminum product that we can accept the scrap and use that to become the recycled aluminum product that used for, most of it is for drink can and others. The third one is our subsidiary is PT Sinergi Mitra Lestari. This is actually the waste management company under our holding. And then the last one is Industry Battery Indonesia. This is one of our biggest dream in Indonesia to have our own battery community in Indonesia in the future because most of the mineral that used for the battery is actually produced in Indonesia. We produce aluminum, which is 20% of the battery materials. And we produce also nickel, is around 19% of the material of the battery. So this is one of the big dreams that we want to have in the future, how to make Indonesia also become one of the battery community in the world. And I would like to play a bit on my company profile. This is just for some introduction what we do in our company. This is our smelter. Our smelter is in Sumatera Utara. This one in Kuala Tanjung. We have 250 kiloton per year capacity of aluminum smelter. We produce billet, ingot, and alloy from that smelter. Currently, most of our product goes to the domestic market, and some of that is actually exported to other countries. One of the uniqueness of our product, we actually are already part of the responsible product under Aluminium Stewardship Initiative. We're powered by the hydro power from Lake Toba. So basically we use Asahan River to produce our power generation up to 485 megawatts. Okay, that's the short movie. This is what we're going to do for the next few years. Our aim is to be able to produce 1.5 MTPA aluminum product in the future, but we still want to keep it as a green product as today, as green as we can do. One of the approach that we use for this development is to be able to reduce the emission in the electricity that we use. So we adopt some technology that we be able to increase the current efficiency that we use during the smelting of the alumina. We believe we can do as well some energy transition. Some of our plant used to have some fuel gas as the fuel, and now we exchange that to LNG. Even though LNG is still not green, but LNG is a very low emission in this kind of terms. So we will be able to reduce our emission quite well for some of our plant, especially in our baking oven plant. So in 2023, we already have our secondary aluminum smelting, the PT IAA. This one is for recycling aluminum product. And then currently we have a pot upgrading. So basically we upgrade our pot to be able to give us a better current efficiency. By doing that, we will reduce our emission as well, because the usage of the energy will be a lot lower. And we also have our alumina. So using an integrated from bauxite to aluminum product, it will give us a lot of potential to reduce the emission. Some of the emission is actually from the ship. When we do the shipment of the raw material from other country to Indonesia, it will increase a lot of emission. So by putting those integrated in a whole, it will reduce a lot of the logistic model, and also give us some point in the emission decrease. So our plan by 2030, we will have 1.5 aluminum product by putting 2 new smelter. One will be in Kuala Tanjung. We plan to have that as green as today. And then another one will be in Mempawah near our alumina project. This is our product right now. Our products makes 72% of it is ingot, 12% of it is billet, and 16% is alloy. Currently in Indonesia, we have 34% market share. In a global, it will be very small, but we aim to get bigger by 2030. Yes, almost finished, Pak. This is what we do. We actually already certified as a responsible product by Aluminium Stewardship Initiative. This is an association that actually valuing your business and then can give you a certification whether your product is in a green level or not. Currently, we have a quite low GHG, even though we have a massive usage in the electricity. This is our sustainable resources management. We believe by doing some avoid, reduce, and mitigate, we can do a integrated decarbonization strategies. By doing so, currently we have one goal proper and one green proper for 2022. But we plan to, we try to achieve this year, become 2 goals. We already have the process this year. We do hope we can get that, and showing the world that actually aluminum smelter can be a green industry as well for the environment. The eco innovation that we do the energy efficiency by adopt some technology and some energy transition, and also the emission control and waste management and water load efficiency for our hydropower. This is our energy consumption. Currently, we have 13.8 gigajoule, million gigajoule. And our energy intensity is 1.3 gigajoule per million IDR in a revenue basis. And then our total emission is 0.26 million ton CO2 equivalent. And the emission intensity is 0.025 ton CO2 equivalent per million IDR revenue. And our water consumption right now is 0.16 kiloliter per million IDR revenue. Basically, our is finished after this. And this is a 97.6%, and then we already plan around 732,000 over 3. And also, we already reduced more than 2,000 ton CO2 equivalent. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ibu Melati. Ibu Melati already demonstrated to us regarding with the sustainable practices in metal processing. We know that the metal processing have use energy for that, but Inalum use 96% renewable energy. This is amazing. So you have a lot of reduction of the greenhouse gas emission. So I will invite the last speaker for our event today, Ibu Lely Fitriani. So you have a floor for that.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's such an honor to be in here. Thank you for Ibu Dirjen, Pak Ilyas, Pak Said, Pak Gunawan, and every staff that helps a lot. This is such a very good opportunity for PPLI. So let me introduce myself. I'm Lely from PT Prasada Pamunah Limbah Industri, and we would like to tell stories about how we mitigate our green footprint towards the waste reductions, the waste treatment, and the waste disposal. All right. PT Prasada Pamunah Limbah Industri has been established from 1994, and we are pioneering the waste treatment in Indonesia, both hazardous and also non-hazardous. So basically, our first priority is to treat all of the waste producers all over Indonesia. All right, this kind of our scope of work. So late 90s, we're talking about from cradle to grave, right, Ibu Dirjen? And then after that, we think that cradle to grave is not enough. So now it's needed to be cradle of cradle. And now we are also focusing on waste treatment until cradle to grave, plus recycling, reuse, and also, of course, waste to energy. All right, this is the moving forward of PPI. So we are merely engaged on only treatment and disposal. We are also trying to engage more on recycling, reutilization, waste to energy. And what we can do is we have to collaborate of many stakeholders. I see a lot of stakeholders in here, and we talked before with Ibu Melati, and could you also collaborate with the aluminum and also probably in Petrokimia Gresik also take our fuel blending waste. Probably in the future we can do more and we can collaborate more to do this. I think all of us know that this circular economy could not be done just for one company. All of us need to be hand in hand to make this come true. All right, then we'll talk about numbers. Numbers that we try to calculate. Of course, this is needed to be more validation on that, but we are trying to calculate the scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3 of our greenhouse gas emissions, and it's ended with 30,000. But we have to remember that there's some components that we cannot calculate it very precise for now. So we'll leave it on the blank. But for now, we are confident that at least we are producing 30,000 ton equivalent CO2 for last 2022. All right. Then the numbers of emitted greenhouse gas has been calculated in 30,000. And then we try to also quantify our activities that try to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. What are they? First, there are four. First, the substitution of cement by using fly ash. Second, waste to energy, we're using the waste, actually calorific waste to be alternative fuel. Third, we're using, of course, we are recycling the water. And four, we are recycling the packings, plastics, and any other that could be recycled. So first, about the substitution of cement by fly ash, we can reach this number, 9,000, and almost 10,000 per year. And then for fuel blending, for when people in all over the world talking about waste to energy, actually PPLI pioneering waste to energy to be an alternative fuel since 1994. And since that time, we are already producing more than 300,000 tons. So it's quite, we are proud to mention it. It's more than 300,000 tons has been have been reutilized. All right, and then if we calculated last year, we got 4,000, almost 5,000 tons. And if we quantify it into the ton CO2 equivalent, it's 9,000 tons. It's around that number. And then water recycling. This is a very, we are very proud of this because we are recycling more than 18,000 cubic meters per year. So it is equal to almost more than 4,000 ton equivalent of CO2. And then we are using many processing steps, physical, chemical, biological, and then after that we're using the vacuum distillation and then recycling the water in a very good quality. It's distilled water somehow, and we can do it for many activities in our internal. All right, and then the packings, metals, and then any others materials that possibly can be recycled. We also quantify it, and the numbers is around 7,000. And this is also one of our activities for PCB oil. We are doing also the recycling activities for this treatment. Of course, it takes time because we need to collect all of the waste from all over Indonesia. And we can see in here we have PLN and some other companies. And last year, we are promoting this to all of us to be more aware with the PCB, the hazard of the PCB, the danger of PCB. So we need to collect all of the waste that containing PCB to be treated in PPLI, for example. All right, the innovations in the near future, we want to put more effort on reducing greenhouse gas emission by installing the solar PV and treatment the CFC and HCFC by using our current self-combustion incinerator. So this is very good because it's not only reducing the CO2 emissions, but also preventing I forgot what it's called, the ozone layer depletions. Right, I found it. And the last is the electronic vehicle. We would like to turn our activities more eco-friendly by using electronic vehicle. The conclusion is we are confident that we can be the first waste management company in Indonesia who can be a net zero emitter company. It's not 2030, we can do it just before 2030 because now we're reducing 30,000, we're producing 30,000 plus plus. So we are very confident that we can do it quicker. That's all. Thank you very much for your attention. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Ibu Lily. Unfortunately, that we have limited time, and now it's already 1 hours for our session right now. So we don't have a question and answer. But if possible, just one is okay.
Actually, if you have any question, we will have an informal session just right after this because we have one question. Okay.
Please. Yeah.
I am consultant waste management. Then I want to add some the fertilizer company. Then now present world, can you try either not in the chemical fertilizer? We can try in the hybrid fertilizer. It's mean we can to the climate change. We can support to the climate change the hybrid fertilizer like in chemical and the biochar. Then all of together mix it. We can grow in our crops, everything we can use it. And another thing, the recycling. Recycling process, we can support them. How? We have generation more, we are collection limited, like 50%, 60% only the collection. The generation is a big amount. Then we want to develop the mechanism, whole generation of waste, how to collection. Then we must include in the business model, like the livelihood development through waste management. That is we have value chain formula. First value, second value, third value, fourth value, fifth value. Second value, we can give the people for the poor people. Third and fourth, we can use in the local authority, local government level. And the sixth, seven, we can use the industry. Then this is add something.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. I think this is suitable for Ibu Lely and Ibu Digna. Yeah? Just short answer. Please, Ibu Digna.
Okay, thank you. We are continuous innovation from the waste, using from the waste, not only from the fertilizer, also from the waste of the chemical. There is many innovation in petrokimia Gresik. Thank you.
Ibu Lely.
Thank you for the input, sir. So that's very good input. That is not only one time, but there's some levels on that. We're going to learn more from you later after this session, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much for all speakers. Please give applause for them. And again, thank you very much for all of you that already attend in our event. Thank you very much.